Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Naomi mocked an iconic Rhea Ripley move following this week's edition of WWE Raw. The veteran cashed in her Money in the Bank contract at Evolution 2025 to become the new Women's World Champion. The former Glow took to social media today to insult Rhea Ripley ahead of their match at SummerSlam. The champion poked fun at her leg kick during her entrance and claimed that she was tired of seeing it. You can check out her post on X by clicking here. "I'm so sick of you throwing that stank a leg around, leg emoji, ha 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 ha, warning emoji, at Rhea Ripley _WWE, she wrote. Naomi kicked off this past Monday's edition of Raw but was quickly interrupted by Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. It was revealed that the 37-year-old will be defending the Women's World Championship against the two stars in a triple threat match next month at WWE SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Vince Russo comments on Naomi's Money in the Bank cash-in at WWE Evolution. Wrestling veteran Vince Russo recently commented on Naomi successfully cashing in her Money in the Bank contract to become the new Women's World Champion at Evolution this past Sunday night. Speaking on this week's episode of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw podcast, Russo claimed that he didn't watch any wrestling over the weekend. The veteran suggested that he didn't miss anything important after checking the results. "I did not watch anything over the weekend, nothing. So, I got the results. I saw what happened and I said to myself, what did I miss? Naomi cashing in? Like, that's what I missed. A Goldberg retirement promo that got cut off too soon. Like, what did I miss by watching nothing over the weekend? I missed nothing, absolutely nothing," Russo said. From 31:00 onwards. Before cashing in her contract in the main event, the real-life Bloodline member lost to Jade Cargill in a no-holds-barred match at Evolution. Cargill won the Queen of the Ring tournament last month and will be challenging Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship next month at SummerSlam. The air inside the Amica Mutual Pavilion was still thick with leftover energy when the final pyros faded into the rafters. Monday Night Raw had gone off the air, but backstage, the real sparks were only beginning to fly. Naomi, her emerald gear still glittering with sweat and the faint residue of victory, pushed open the locker room door with a little too much force. She tossed her head back dramatically, her blue and green braids whipping around like a defiant flag. Tonight, she had stood toe-to-toe with Zoe Stark in a match that left the crowd on their feet, something she hadn't tasted in months. But that wasn't what had the women's locker room buzzing. It was what happened at the top of the ramp, when Naomi, adrenaline still pounding through her veins, had turned back to the ring, smirked at the camera, and raised her arms in a pose that every WWE fan on earth would recognize instantly. The mommy flex. Rhea Ripley's signature. The outstretched arms, the slow, deliberate twist of the torso, the glare that said, "This is my kingdom." The move that usually sent chills down spines and cemented Rhea's iron rule over the women's division. But when Naomi did it, complete with an exaggerated sneer and a playful hip-hop, the internet exploded. Inside the locker room, a few women pretended not to watch as Naomi propped one boot on a bench and checked her phone. Sure enough, Twitter was melting down. #MommyMockery was trending alongside #FeelTheGlow. Bianca Belair, untying her braid a few feet away, couldn't hold her grin back any longer. "Girl, you did not just mock Rhea on live TV," Bianca said, half shocked, half amused. Naomi shot her a look, equal parts innocent and proud. "Oh, I did. And did you hear the crowd? They ate it up." Candice LeRae, perched by the mirror, raised an eyebrow. "You know she's gonna come for you now, right? Rhea doesn't play when people steal her thunder." Naomi shrugged, undeterred. "Let her. I'm tired of tiptoeing around her like she's some unstoppable monster. She's been running this division for too long, acting like we're all supposed to just bow down. Well, guess what? The Glow bows to no one." Her words rolled off her tongue like a promise, one that would either catapult her into the spotlight or put a target squarely on her back. Maybe both. She locked eyes with her own reflection for a moment. This wasn't the same Naomi who'd quietly slipped out of the WWE 2 years ago, burned out and unheard. This was the Naomi who had come back on her own terms. And tonight, for the first time since her return, she felt something click. She wasn't just back, she was ready to push anyone out of the way. Even mommy. Meanwhile, down the hallway, the atmosphere was far less playful. Rhea Ripley sat alone in a small dressing room, elbows propped on her knees, eyes locked on the replay looping endlessly on her phone. She had seen it happen in real time, Naomi's grin, the mocking flex, the crowd's shocked gasp morphing into laughter and cheers. The Judgment Day was nowhere to be found. Damian Priest was off arguing with Finn Balor about his botched interference earlier in the night. Dominic Mysterio, her ever-present shadow, had wisely slunk away to avoid the storm brewing behind Rhea's stormy eyes. She replayed it again. And again. Each loop was like an insult thrown in her face. The move she'd built her reputation around, mocked like it was just a dance move for the glow to steal. Rhea clenched her jaw until her teeth hurt. "Oh, you think it's funny, huh, Naomi?" she muttered to herself. "Cute. Real cute." She stood up slowly, rolling her shoulders to loosen the tension coiled there like barbed wire. Her phone vibrated with incoming notifications, fans tagging her, gifs of Naomi's pose, memes calling her old mommy and former mommy. It was all a joke to them. But it wouldn't be for long. Back in the corridor, Naomi headed for the parking lot with Bianca by her side. They were laughing about old matches, catching up like they always did after Raw, when a hush fell over the hallway. Superstars and production crew parted like the Red Sea. Rhea Ripley appeared, clad in all black, hair pulled back, championship slung over her shoulder like it weighed nothing. Her boots thudded on the concrete floor, each step a warning. Bianca shot Naomi a quick, knowing glance. "Good luck, girl," she whispered before slipping away. Rhea stopped just a few feet in front of Naomi, close enough for Naomi to catch the glint of rage dancing behind her dark eyeliner. "You think you're funny?" Rhea said, her voice dangerously calm. Naomi didn't flinch. "I think I'm entertaining." The crowd seemed to love it. Rhea's lips twitched, whether it was almost a smirk or a snarl, Naomi couldn't tell. "You want my attention that badly? Congratulations. You've got it." Naomi folded her arms, chin lifted. "Good. Then maybe I'll take that next week, too." She nodded at the Women's World Championship resting on Rhea's shoulder like a dare. For a heartbeat, the hallway was pure electricity, two alphas standing nose to nose, one the reigning queen, the other the glow that refused to dim. Neither blinked. Finally, Rhea leaned in close enough for only Naomi to hear. "You want to mock me, fine. But when I'm done with you, you'll be begging to bow down." Naomi's eyes glittered. "We'll see about that, mommy." By the time Rhea stalked off, the word was already spreading backstage. The women's division had a new fight, one nobody saw coming. Within an hour, WWE's social media had already put out the teaser, next week on Raw, Naomi vs. Rhea Ripley, face-to-face. No championship on the line, yet. No stipulations. Just two women with something to prove. Naomi, to the world, and maybe to herself, that her glow was more than just a slogan. And Rhea, to remind everyone exactly why the word mommy struck fear into the entire roster. Back at her rental car, Naomi sat in the driver's seat, hands gripping the wheel as the adrenaline finally settled into her bones. She replayed that moment on the ramp in her mind, how she felt mimicking that move, how the crowd roared. How alive she felt. For so long, she had danced around the edges, championships slipping through her fingers, moments overshadowed by bigger, bolder names. But this was hers. She dared to mock the Eradicator on live TV, and next week, she'd step into the ring with her. Naomi cracked a smile to herself as she turned the keys in the ignition. Let her come, she thought. The glow's ready for the darkness. And somewhere in the back of her mind, Naomi knew, win or lose, the days of being overlooked were over. Next week, the world would see just how bright the glow could burn, especially when it dared to stand in the shadow of mommy.